I'm so excited for my first video. Anyways, I recorded this already, but I didn't like how it looked, so I decided to re-record it again. I think this angle is a little better. Yes. Okay. Whew. Gonna start over again. So I wanted to tell a story about my life growing up in Seattle, more or less. Yeah, I was born out of wedlock to a pimp named Slickback and a mother who fucked a pimp named Slickback. I'll just put it like that, yeah. So they met at a funeral. Whose funeral? I don't know. I wasn't born yet, so don't ask, okay? Funny thing is, both of them were born in the same little town in Texas called Borger. Haven't heard of Borger? Oh well. I don't care. Look it up. It's by Amarillo, Texas. Both places no one knows. So there you go. Yeah. Both sides of my family moved up to Washington to avoid the lynchings that were going on. You know, the racist white redneck people love to kill black folks. And they were on a rampage, just going around lynching and killing black folks just because they black. And, you know, some black people left and fled to other states, like California, up north, even though a lot of black folks reside still down south, and some fled California because of the riots. So anyways, I am first generation Washingtonian. Yeah, probably the last anyways, but I was conceived and my mom became a single mother. She had me. We lived in Seattle. I remember my first day of school. She told me I was going to kindergarten, and I was so excited to go to kindergarten, and I wore a skirt for the first time, and I fell in love because it was a skirt and shorts at the same time. So, you know, this little boy is going to be raising up my skirt trying to see, you know, panties and things, and you know, the little girls can't be raising up their skirts and showing off their panties because it's a skirt, so you got on shorts, you know. So I went to a uniform school called John Muir, and I remember my kindergarten teacher, Mr. Petrie, he told us that in the cafeteria was a door because there was a big giant door on the wall for some reason that no one could ever reach, and he told us that Barney was buried in there. And so we were scared out of our little minds because we saw Barney on TV and we thought someone killed him and put him up there, you know, and stuff. And so we were scared and stuff, thinking there's a ghost in the school. Our school was weird because we had powdered soap and that stuff would, you know how that goes. If you ever had powdered milk and things and government cheese, then you know how all that goes. Ooh, it was great. First black teacher was my kindergarten teacher. I loved it. I loved it so much. So after that, he had a wife, a Japanese wife. And every day he eats sushi and he smelled like cocoa butter And after that, I just fell in love with black men. He was light skinned, but that don't matter. He's still black, so it's great. It's nice. Thank you. Jesus Christ. What happened? First grade, second grade, third grade, blah, 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 whatever. Fourth grade comes. I'm about 9 years old at this point in my life. And I was into sports like basketball, tennis. My mom had met these other black women. They became friends because when I first started at this school, their kids went to that same school, and there was a place connected to the school called Kids Corner, and so that's where you could drop your kids off before, after school, or whatever, you know. So I linked into the school and stuff. So yeah, it was great. They became friends, and we all got into the same sports: basketball, tennis, swimming. I failed swimming lessons because I wasn't about to jump in that water. So team no swim. I'll learn one day though, but yeah, no, that teacher was not having it with me. They pushed me in, and she was like, "You failed." So that's how that went. I did like that place though, because after you get done swimming, your clothes were all warm and hot, you know, after you shower and everything, so you just feel so toasty and warm, yeah, and ashy, because we were ashy little kids, ashy knuckles and all that, you know. I don't know why we never had any lotion. That made no sense to me. Black folks always stay ashy. I don't know why, but black do crack. If you do crack, okay. After swimming lessons, we started basketball. We all were into basketball, all in the same sports and stuff, and I felt that there was always competition because the parents want their kids to be the best. And I didn't like basketball. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to be no WNBA player. I didn't want to be famous for it. I didn't want to be none of that. At first, I started because I enjoyed it. But then when the rivalry of the parents trickled down to the kids, that became a problem, because then it's like, oh, your kid scores more than this kid, so that kid is obviously better than this kid, when one might be a forward and one might be better at defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kid might be a number 1, that other kid might be a number 5. One gets the ball more than the other. But yeah, I don't know, I just didn't like that, because it put us all against each other, and friends became enemies. We all played for the same team, but best believe we all were not the best friends. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, too, two of the parents, they're like best friends. So when we be at the summer camp or whatever, their kids would always have on the same thing. Of course, the kids wouldn't know because the parents go out shopping and buy the kids the same shit. And be like, oh, on this day, let's put both of our kids in the same outfit and then surprise them when they get to the place. And then everybody's going to be looking at us like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, my gosh, they're such good friends. You know, and that's cool and all. But my mama was like, envious. I believe she was envious of that because she just felt some type of way about it. I don't know why, but maybe she felt left out. Maybe she felt that she didn't have a friendship like that with someone, you know, to go shopping with and having girl time with and this, that, and the third. And she probably didn't, honestly, because she was kind of a loner. I mean, I'm one too, but not to the extent of what she was. So her mentality trickled down onto me. And I always been the odd one out, no matter what. Friendships, family. I was always the weird one. I wasn't a popular kid in school. I mean, I've never been a popular kid. Honestly, I didn't really want to be a popular kid. It was nice to be part of the popular crowd because then you fit in. And everybody wants to fit in. So then they don't stand out. It's like you fit in to be invisible. So then you're not picked on. No one bullies you. You're less of a target. You know? In my head, it makes sense like that. Maybe not to you, I don't know, but to me, that it just makes sense to me that way. So I mean, I wasn't a weird kid, you know, like, yeah, you know those kids. We've seen those videos. We all got that one weird kid in school. So luckily that was not me. I was like an in-betweener. I could be hang out with anybody if I wanted to, you know, but I tend to just hang out in the corner by myself, not really talk to people, just be a little loner kid. That was me. Sure, I had friends, but they didn't hang out after school and stuff, like out sleepovers and paint our nails and gossip about boys and look at magazines and shit. None of that. And on top of that, I did not live in the same proximity that everybody else lived in. So I couldn't do those things if I wanted to because I lived in a whole other town. So thanks a lot, Mom. I didn't have a childhood either, honestly. So thanks again, Mom. Thank you. Just ruining everything. Yeah. Thank you. It was great, Mom. Thanks. Thanks, you know. 16 years, thanks. You did a lot. Thank you. So, I was 9. 9, yes. 9 years old when my mom had a boyfriend. And he was from Texas. A Texonian man. Morally, not a man. Physically, a man. Whatever. So, I don't know how long they were talking online for, but I take it since the internet began. Talking online, you know, finessing and all that stupid shit. Writing letters back and forth and all that dumb shit. So one day, my mama pulled me aside and showed me a picture of this man and told me that she was talking to him and wanted to know what I thought of what this man looked like in this one picture that he sent. I looked at that shit and I was like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is he? Like, that ain't my daddy. So that picture was an ugly picture. He looked like a bootleg Cisco like the dollar store version of Cisco. That's what he looked like. He looked like a knockoff version. Like, just no. It was all types of no. I give that picture a 0. Like a negative 10,000. Okay? Your picture was shit. You're still shit, you ain't shit, and you will never be shit. Your parents birthed and raised an ain't shit kid. Okay? Into an ain't shit man. How about that? So, she talking to this ain't shit man, thinking he is the shit. But you ain't shit. Okay? So, she writing letters back and forth, and they writing letters back and forth and sending messages back and forth and whatnot. And one day we go down to Texas during summer break, and we are in the airport, right? Her purse falls, and all these condoms fall on the floor. They're like different colors and stuff. So me being a kid, I was like, I don't know what that is. Is that candy? Because it looked like it could be candy, but if it is, why didn't you give me the candy? Because kids eat candy and I'm a kid. You're grown as a woman, so it might be not. I didn't really know. But then when we got there and it got to the nitty gritty, then I knew what it was. Because there was a certain amount that fell on the floor, and we were there for a certain amount of days. So it made sense that each one was for a day. Get what I'm saying? Yeah, they would do it when I was in the shower. So I was there a long time in another room. I could hear them. They ain't slick. Parents, you ain't slick. Just so you know, you're not slick. Kids know what you're doing. You're not slick. Get it together. They doing it, whatever. You know, they ain't slick. They really were not slick. I could hear everything. All your moans and shit. I could hear that shit. Like, it's gross. Fucking nasty. Like, you're fucking a man. The first time you meet him, though, really? Mama, what kind of example are you trying to set for me here? Because you know, be my daddy. Y'all was never married. How long was y'all together before you decided to birth me? I mean, and you had how many boyfriends before this guy? And we remember the time you locked me out the house to sleep with one of them. And remember the other guy that stole your groceries out the car, so we had nothing to eat that night? You remember that? Because I do. And I don't think that's the kind of example that you want to set for me, because then you are going to further the, what is it called? Cycle. Black single mothers in the black community. Right. Thanks, Mom. Thank you. Thank you. Getting it in and shit. Doing the nasty procreating. All that shit, you know, all that jazz. Ugh. We go to the museum. Do we go to the museum? We didn't go to no fucking museum. We went to the aquarium and Six Flags. We love Six Flags. Yeah, we did. It was the first time. I know, one of those times we went to Six Flags. It was so long ago, and I don't care to remember memories that have him in it. So, excuse me if I can't properly remember traumatizing events. After we left Texas, we went back home to Washington. Then a week later, a few days later, we went to California. He didn't go with us to California though, so thank God for that. California was a lot funner because it was just me and her this time, and it's my first time at Disneyland. I remember we stayed at this hotel, right? It had all these rooms. It was right across the street from Disneyland, and we were walking one day. I don't know what time we were walking, but it was close to midnight. Well, when the sun was going down. So anyways, we was walking, right, and there was a room and the door was cracked. You know what was in there? People. Fucking, they were making a porno tape. They had the big ring light and stuff. So I remember I took a peek. The door was cracked. You know, they need fresh air because it's getting funky and stanky. You know, the body odors and sweats and bodily fluids all over that room. They were doing it and stuff, and there's a cameraman and things. My mama told me not to look, but I looked anyway. So yeah, that was great. Opened my eyes to a lot that day about the porn industry. Thank you, California. Thank y'all. I ain't been on porno though, but got to see how they're made. I mean, they're still made like that, but oh my gosh. I remember we got Panda Express for the first time in California. I seen a sub sandwich. I don't know how long it was. I didn't have a tape measure or a ruler to measure that shit, so I don't know the exact length or feet, but it was so long. There was 2 people on both ends carrying it across the street. That's how long I know that it was. So I don't know who made all that bread or who put that shit together, but that was some fire shit right there. I never seen nothing like that in my fucking life. Oh, that was so cool. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'll never forget that. Oh my gosh, California was great. We were in Orange County. I guess that's where Disneyland is. We were there. Disneyland was fun. I saw Ocean Blue or Deep Sea, whatever one has LL Fine Ass Cool J in it with his bald head and shit. You know, he's just so fine, man. My love for him just started when I seen that movie because I was a fan. I listened to his music, and then I saw him on TV, and it was magic. In a fan way, okay? Not a stalker way, because I don't do that. So after California, we went back home, and then one day she had this man move in with us. The man from Texas that she was fucking every day for however many motherfucking days that she had condoms for, you know, the one that she was writing letters to and stuff. He moved in with us, and I didn't like that. His whole persona changed. He was all nice and sweet and shit. Then he moved in, and ooh, he was a diva. He was a straight up diva, to the point to where he literally isolated my mom away from me, like isolated me away from my mom. So he was isolating both of us away from each other, if that makes any sense, you know. So he moved in, and I just got this feeling like, you know, when you meet a person and the whole aura is just negative, like their whole vibe, the whole aura, like you could see, sometimes you could literally see someone's aura. So his aura was just so dark and black, and the vibes were just negative, like it just radiated, like negativity and like demons and shit just radiated off of him. And like he could walk into a room and the whole room would literally just get dark and sad, and everybody would literally stop talking. This was like every day, every fucking day. So that's how I felt deep in my body, my spirit, my soul. When I looked in his eyes, it was crazy. Like you could see people's souls and shit in their eyes, and his eyes were just fucking crazy. Like, he just had crazy in his eyes. Like, that man is fucking crazy. So you ever see crazy in somebody's eyes, you better believe that shit and stay your ass away from them, because you don't know what the fuck they can do. So just warning you. His ass was in that house, and my mama she was in the process of adopting this little boy, my cousin. His mama couldn't have custody of him because he was born with drugs in his system. So he was a premature baby, you know, and sorry, babies born with drugs in their system, that mother, they lost custody of that kid because they got drugs in their system. You can't get your kid back after that. Like, you lost custody literally for life. So if you're pregnant, don't do drugs, man. It harms you and it harms your child. Even if you're not pregnant, don't do drugs. It still harms you. So care about yourself. Love yourself, okay? Don't do things that's going to harm you. I think that's just common sense. Maybe it'll take some life-threatening thing to happen to you, changing experience to happen to you, for you to understand and realize that. Because I know me just saying it is not going to make somebody change their life for the better. So one day y'all gonna listen to me. You may not believe what I say now, but what I say is true. These things that I'm saying are true. So my family don't believe me. My family still don't believe me. My family think I be making this shit up. Like, I'm just making up being molested and touched and abused and watching this man hit my mom and shit, put his hands on me. Like, I'm just somehow making this shit up. Like, I was a kid going from 9 years old until my teenage years witnessing this shit, and somehow I'm making it up. It makes no sense to me. Who makes up something for years and say the same exact shit for years if it's not true? A liar can't tell the same lie twice because they don't know what the fuck they said. When you lie, you don't remember your lie. It's as simple as that. Truly, it's not that fucking hard. It's common sense. So he was in that house doing all type of shit. Like, he started, first he was already, you know, touching me before my mama got sick. And after she got sick, it got worse, because then she wasn't around to see. She couldn't move. She was recovering. So she was highly convinced, because he convinced her that I was making it all up, that I was making up him touching me, him walking in on me, getting dressed, you know, him walking on me in the bathroom, in my room, like all this stuff, him telling lies on me on a daily basis, that I was making everything up. And I wasn't making anything up, but he convinced her that I wasn't lying about it all. And so she just turned against me, like went straight left the fucking field. You know, straight left. Like, she was like, fuck you, daughter. I don't give a fuck if you are my kid. I'm going to protect you because I got a man here and he is over here breaking me down and convincing me that you're fucking lying. So, oh well. Don't give a fuck if what he is doing is harming you, because he's convincing me otherwise. That's basically her mentality. And that was her mentality till the day she died, but she never owned up to shit. So, with that being said, it makes a lot of sense to me now as the way he acts. Because what he did is wrong. What he did was wrong. All the way wrong. What she did was wrong. They're both wrong, and they will forever be wrong. Anyways, What was I saying? You're wrong. That's what I was saying. So, Mama, I know you're not here no. This thing keeps turning the fuck off and it's pissing me off. Shit. Now. Shit. Where was I at? Damn. I'll start back. Just talking about. My mama met this man. Ugly ass, hot, stink breath ass, gingivitis ass motherfucker who lived in Texas. Met up Texas, whatever. They did their thing every day. They flavored condoms and shit, fucking and all that, whatever, in that motel room. After that, we left. Went home, went to California, had fun there. Saw LL Cool J on TV. He was looking fine and scrumptious, you know. Some men do look better with age. He is one of them. So thank you, Father Time, for that. And Morris Chestnut too, you know, he's fine. So fine. He is just so... He is scrumptious. He is so. In California, I had Panda Express for the first time ever. I saw a Subway sandwich. I don't know how long it was. All I know is there was 2 men carrying that shit both on the chin. You know, so that was amazing too. And I saw a porno being filmed in one of the hotel rooms too. That's the only time I've ever seen a porno being filmed. So that was a nice, you know, kick to my childhood. That was great. Got the ring light and all that stuff. You know, it was cool. It was so fucking cool. Because as I got older, I realized what I saw was not a lie. That was nice. Oh yeah, that kind of came out the wrong way, but yeah, anyway, so that was cool, you know. Cali was great. It was fun and stuff. First time ever there. You know, we got a lot of stuff, you know, from the swap meet or whatever. But this was the time when the baggage people would like take shit out of your luggage and stuff. So they took a lot of stuff out of our luggage. Like my mom had got so many things, and they took the shit out. They took it out. She was so mad. I was so upset. There was so many cute stuff in there, just so much, and they just took that shit. Like no, anything you got from us, we taking it right back. Fuck where you coming from? Fuck where you going? We ain't taking our shit. They were rude though, but anyways, all I know is she had his ass where living with us, and I didn't like that because he came in to that house and just fucked everything up. Everything was fucked up. Oh, you got a schedule about fuck that shit. You got love for your kid, fuck that shit. You taking the shower, fuck that shit too. Fuck it all. Fuck everything. Fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your kid, fuck your unborn fetus, fuck your eggs, fuck your spirits, fuck all the ancient spirits. Fuck it all, right? That was his mentality. Just fuck everything. Just fuck it. He got crazy in his eyes. His whole aura was just black and like The Grudge and shit. He reminds me of The Grudge because you know how The Grudge got the hair in front of their face and shit. You know, like it's like this, right? It's like just. That's what the fuck his ass looked like. His aura was just like that. Just like that. Just dark and ugly. Not dark and lovely. Dark and ugly. He was... It's not was, he is. He is still an ugly individual. Everything, aura, your eyes, your breath, you got gingivitis too. So I hope you come across this video because your breath still stank. You stink, your shit stink, your personality stink, but your face is stank. Your hairline is stank. Your name is stank, your last name is stank. Everything about you is stank. I don't know why my mama put up with you, but she was desperate, obviously, and that's why she put up with your ass. Well, she ain't here no more, so she can be desperate in the afterlife. Hey. God said, you too damn desperate. I gotta take your ass. Right now. Whoop. That ain't how she died though, but I can make light of this situation. My mama did put up a lot with him though, because he was just a very abusive man. Just abusive. Morally, he ain't a man. We live. We is back live. This shit died on me again for the millionth time. Let me get back to the story. Like I was saying, this man is abusive. He was abusive. This man was abusive. I'm not even going to say was, he is, because nothing has changed. He bragged about throwing his ex-wife, his baby mama, whatever, over a balcony because she threw a pillow at him. He just bragged about beating up people all the time, just being violent all the time, as if that's the cool thing to do, as if that's the fade, that's the fad. You know, he just was negative. His whole aura negative, everything negative. Like, he just radiate negativity all the time. You ever come across somebody like that? Stay away from them, far away from them as possible, because those people are not cool to be around. Okay, they're really not. They're not cool to be around, and I never want to meet anybody else like that in my life. I don't know why my mom put up with somebody like that, besides her being desperate, but she's not okay. It's never okay. I don't care how desperate you are. You don't ever put up with some shit like that. You never put your child's safety at risk because of somebody else. Never. It's never okay. No. It's just not cool. He put his hands on her. He put his hands on her. He put his hands on me several times. I still have markings. I still have scars. Physically, emotionally, I still have fucking marks on my body. You know, my mama ain't here anymore. She was sick still, but what he did to her isn't okay. What he did to me is not okay. What he did to anybody is not okay. To just sit here and brag about hurting people. Like, you have issues. You have deep-rooted, seated issues that you refuse to get help for, and that's no one's problem but yours. That's just that. I was ashamed to tell anybody about what was going on. My mother shamed me into speaking about what was going on. I couldn't write it down. I couldn't write it in a journal, a notebook, on a computer. I couldn't do any of that because he'd go and read it. He'd go on my computer, read everything I write, go through all my stuff, you know, so I had no sense of privacy at all. I felt very uncomfortable in the household because he'd walk in on me getting undressed. He'd walk in on me in the bathroom. He'd walk in on me in the morning getting ready for school. He'd just always do things like that, and he was touching me as well, and he'd be like saying really disturbing and disgusting things all the time. And my mother just chose to turn a blind eye to it, like she turned a blind eye to everything, including her health. So I just felt that I felt trapped. I felt that I couldn't write poetry anymore. I loved writing poetry. I felt that I couldn't do that. I used to draw pictures because I wanted to be like a fashion designer, and I stopped doing that too because no matter what I did, he always has something negative to say about everything. Your hair is ugly. Your clothes are ugly. You're ugly. Whenever he screw up on a word, I'm stupid. He take it out on me. Like, you're the one who can't read. You're the one who can't write. You're a grown-ass man, but I'm stupid. I'm still learning. I'm a child, and I can spell better than you can. But it's my fault. You can't spell. It's my fault. You're illiterate. Okay. Okay, R. Kelly. Okay. The fuck kind of shit is that? It's your fault. Your fault. You can learn how to read. You can learn how to write. You can learn how to spell words. But you choose not to. Oh, well. Don't get mad 'cause I'm smarter than you. I'm more intelligent than you. Oh, well. Oh, well. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. You over it yet? 'Cause I am. I'm intelligent. I am. Are you? 'Cause I know I am. Woo! Like my eyeshadow is popping today. This shit shows all my pores. I don't know how I feel about that. Because I got a wax, you know, here. See, yeah. And I never got a wax up here before. And it just gave me these fucking bumps and looked like I got all these cold sores and shit. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Too bad, but pain is beauty. Beauty is pain. However the saying goes, whatever. It's pain, it hurts. It fucking hurts, man. Back to the fucking story. My mom ignored everything for years. She ignored it all. He was touching me, touching that little boy. Throughout the years, she was extending the family, adopted the 2 little ones, siblings. Pretty sure he was doing stuff to them too. I told her, she refused to listen. Couldn't go to people at school because CPS would get involved, then the kids get taken away, and then it'd be my fault because I said something. And looking back at it, it would have never been my fault because you allowed this to go on, you allowed this to happen, you allowed this individual into your household. And you being the parent should have never allowed it in the first place. So none of it is my fault. So I'm not going to continue to believe that I am the root of all these problems that went on in this house when I am not. I'm not. None of these kids are. It's you and the people you put up with and what transpired that led to the circumstances now, including you no longer being here. So that has absolutely nothing to do with me because I'm going to speak in my truth. I'm going to stand in my truth, and no one is going to shame me anymore for me telling my truth, because Lord knows you did that my entire life. Both of y'all. Telling me I'm crazy. It never happened. I was a kid. I was seeing things. It's not what it was. I didn't do this. I did that. I never put my hands on your mother. Blah, 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 blah. Right, but you fucking touched me. You didn't put your hands on her, but you put your hands on me. Right, okay. Okay, cool. Right. But I deserve to get touched, right? Because it's my fault. Yeah. Okay. Right, Mom. Right. Thanks. So, one day, I was 15. I got tired of it. Because I was isolated. I was a teenager. I barely had friends. I was going through a lot. I kept a knife in my room. I felt like I had to protect myself because my mother was not protecting me. My father wasn't there for whatever reason, whether she kept him away or he just didn't want to be around. It doesn't really matter. I did not have a father figure in my life, and this man sure in hell was not my father by any means or regards. He was a father figure to nobody, not even his own damn kids. Hell, one of them didn't even want him around. And looking back at it, even then I knew why. I still know why, so I don't feel bad for that. Some people just don't deserve to be parents because they're just not meant to be, and these individuals just aren't meant to be parents. And it's sad that some people who can't have kids would be better parents than these people who were able to have children. It's messed up, but sometimes that's just the reality of it. Eventually I did tell my dad because when the shit hit the fan and I was tired of it because I felt so isolated. I was depressed. I was being traumatized, you know. I was dealing with so much, just being told I'm crazy on a daily basis to the point to where I started to believe that I was actually crazy. So I used to cut myself to relieve the pain, and it didn't really work. So I just thought I felt that my mother didn't love me because honestly, I just don't believe that she did love me. She told me many a times how I was unwanted, how I was a mistake. She didn't want me here. My father doesn't love me. All these things. She took her anger out on me every day. She let her boyfriend, take his anger out on me every day. It just got to the point to where he could just say whatever to me and she'd just sit there and allow it. And if I ever tried to defend myself, it was a problem, you know. It was just to the point to where, like, I felt that there was no way out because I had no escape. She isolated me in every sense of the way, and he was isolating her in every sense of the way. Like, we didn't go to family functions, no barbecues, no birthdays, no holidays, no nothing like that. Either when I would see my cousins, they'd ask, like, where have you been? Blah, blah, blah. You missed this birthday party or whatever. And my mama knew, but she kept us away from that. And it really hurted me because I had no one I could relate to. I had no one I could talk to, no one I could speak to, no one I can confide in about anything. Like, it got to the point to where I couldn't even speak to her, to where I wasn't even talking to her. Like, I wouldn't even say good morning to her. It got to that point to where we weren't even talking. Like, it got to the point to where she saw me as a fucking enemy. It should never get to that point to where you have hatred for your child because you put a man over your own kid. It should never get to that point. Never. Never. And so I felt like I had no way out because if I wrote something down, then school would call CPS, and then I'm blamed for it. The kids were talking, I'm blamed for it. You know, it's disrupting the family, household, and I'm blamed for it. When she knew he wasn't supposed to be around in the first place, so. But everything was always my fault. Everything is just my fucking fault to her. So, that's how that went. And I still got the scars. They're all over my arms still. And I just thought it had to be me or him. It was either going to be me or him. One of us had to go. So, I was cutting. I was depressed. At times, I still am depressed. At times, I couldn't sleep because he would stay up all fucking night and be by my room, you know. And I felt that hell, he's already touching me. Shit, what's preventing him from, you know, raping me? She probably would blame me for that too. She blamed me for everything else going wrong in our lives. Blaming me for the kids being taken away. Just blaming me for all the fucking mistakes that she's made. She just never once ever apologized for anything. Just never, ever took acknowledgement to say, hey, I'm sorry for not doing enough research. I'm sorry for not looking up a background check on this individual before I let them into our lives. I'm sorry for not protecting you. I'm sorry for not being a good mother. I'm sorry for not acknowledging the wrongs that I did. I'm sorry for not acknowledging or taking responsibility for the people that I'm attracting into my life that's affecting you in your life. She never once apologized for anything, and that broke my heart because she broke me. She let him break me. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything. Like, I was having panic attacks on a daily basis. I was thinking of dying on a daily basis. That was all on my mind. I just felt that I would be better off dead than to be alive because she doesn't love me. She chose this abusive, terrible person over me. She treats these little kids way better than she's ever treated me. I can't talk to anybody. Everything is all my fault. They believe I'm crazy. I'm starting to believe I'm crazy. I'm better off gone because no one will miss me. She won't miss me. She clearly don't care about me. She doesn't see any wrong in what she's doing. And I don't like him, and she just thinks he's the greatest thing in the fucking world. So there were several times where I tried to end my life. None of those times worked. And I don't know why I'm still here. I can't tell you why. I really don't know. The first time, I had taken some pills. Maybe about 8+ pills. Didn't work. Didn't die. Don't know why. Told the doctor, whatever. Mother found out. She had the nerve to ask why. Like, why would you do something like that? Why do you care now? Why do you care? You act like you hate me. You act like you don't love me. You act like I'm not wanted. You act like your life would be better off if I wasn't here. You act like you got this perfect family with you, him, and these 3 little kids, and I'm just a fucking black sheep. And you sit here and you ask me why, and all you do is degrade me every day. All you do is hurt me. All you do is break me down. All you do is belittle me. All you do is dehumanize me. And you let him do the same thing. That's all you do. You don't support me. You don't love me. You don't do anything. Nothing. Not to do so much by myself, learn so much by myself. And a lot of it, I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard fucking way. High school with no friends. Living 2+ hours away from everybody, all civilization. Isolated. Living in this terrible place, in a terrible space, for years on end. Taking all type of abuse. Every day. You can't blame me for not wanting to be here. You just can't blame me for that. I'm sorry, Mama, but you had your chance. I just can't feel sorry for you because you knew what you was getting yourself into. You knew when the doctors told you that you had cancer, you had a certain amount of time to live. You knew that this was going to take you out. And yet you chose to not make things right. You chose to not right your wrongs. You chose to not rid yourself of the negativity that was surrounding you. You chose to let it devour you. You chose to let it take you. You chose to break me. And I'm spending the rest of my life putting myself back together. And all you had to do was say, I'm sorry. But that was too much for you. Lord, you let that pride get in your way. You let that man get in your way. You let everything get in your way of being a great, wonderful person. And people sit here and say, you were such a good mother. You weren't on drugs. They say you were such a good mother because you were strong and you battled cancer. Because no matter how much abuse I went through, no matter what the fuck that man put me through, no matter what you put me through, it doesn't matter because you had cancer. It doesn't matter what I went through because your cancer overshadows every little fucking thing. It doesn't matter that I tried to kill myself because you had cancer. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. None of it matters because you had a terminal illness that outweighed every fucking thing. But they never say that cancer stopped you from going to work. They never say that cancer stopped you from making money, but somehow that cancer stopped you from being a good parent. Did it stop you from loving me? Or did it stop you from being a good person? Did that cancer turn you evil? Did it turn you against me? Or was that just you all along? And it's sad that you're not here no longer to mature and to do the right thing. Because you left me with a lifetime of hurts. Guilt that's not even my guilt. Faults that's not even my faults. Wrongs that's not even my wrongs. Dealing with problems that's not even my problems. Making me feel bad because these kids don't know what happened. These little kids saw him beat me. And for the first time, you defended me. When I stood up for myself because I had enough. You didn't have enough. I had enough. I couldn't take it no more. You backed me up against the wall. And I had no other choice but to fight. Because I waited for you for so long to protect me, to do your natural born right duties to do as a parent. And you failed at it all. And I had to pick up the pieces. And I'm still picking up the pieces to stand on my 2 feet. The ones that you never gave support to me to begin with. I hope I've just become a better person than you ever was.